The sun is high and the air is salty. Can you build the best beachfront to attract all the tourists, but still keep the locals happy in Santa Monica?
Hey guys, thanks for joining us at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at Santa Monica from AEG. This is from designer Josh Wood and artwork by Jeremy Nguyen.
It's for 2 to 4 players. It's a tableau-building game that takes about 30 to 45 minutes to play. AEG was kind enough to send us a copy to check out, so let's take a look at how it's played.
To set up the game, create 2 rows of 4 feature cards and select a scoring objective tile and 2 sand dollar tiles for the game.
Randomly draw the starting tiles and have each player select one in reverse turn order. Give each player their starting items from their tile.
Have the last player place the food truck token under a column in the display and place the foodie 2 spaces away, and you're ready to begin.
On their turn, players will select one card from the bottom row and add it to their beachfront town. Beach cards go in the top row and boardwalk cards go in the bottom row.
The player will gain any items shown on the card, so this card would gain 1 tourist and 2 locals and a sand dollar.
Some cards allow players to move their people in their town when played, like this bike shop, which allows you to move one person 4 spaces.
Points will be scored at the end of the game for moving people into activity rings.
Mini cards in the deck will grant you points for grouping certain types of establishments together or by placing them adjacent to one another.
Also, your starting VIP wants to check out certain spots in your town. A footprint token is left for each location they get to see, and you'll score points for those as well.
When a player selects a card that is next to the foodie, they gain 1 movement for 1 person in their town.
If it is next to the food truck, they gain a sand dollar.
The display is refilled each turn by sliding the top card down and drawing a replacement from the deck.
Instead of taking your normal turn to gain a card from the display, sand dollars may be spent to take these actions instead.
Once someone has 14 cards in their town, the round finishes and points are tallied, and the player to have built the best beachfront wins. In Santa Monica, players will be attempting to build out the perfect little beachfront property for themselves. They'll be drawing a card each round and adding it to their tableau, hoping to have the perfect mix of places for the locals to hang out in as well as for the tourists.
On your turn, you'll be gaining 1 card to your tableau. It has a very simple rule set, so this is a nice casual weight family game.
Yeah, as players add those cards, they'll be trying to put them adjacent to other cards, trying to build sets, and then probably the most interesting thing in the game are those activity rings where they're trying to get all their meeples into.
Yeah, and some activity rings are specific. They need a tourist or a local, and to gain the points for those activity rings, you'll have to have exactly the right number. So if you don't have enough, you won't score it. If you have too many, there may be a penalty depending on your objective card. If those meeples do not count as placed, so you'll have to be careful. That's one part of the game that is a nice tension of some of the cards give you lots of those people, and there's not very many ways to move them around your town, so you'll need to really think through where they're gonna go.
2 of the ways to move those. One is you can a lot of times spend those sand dollar. You can buy the sand dollar action, which might allow you to move some people. And then I don't think we mentioned this in the rules, but at the very end, you'll get to move all of your people 1 space. You get to move your tourists, I think, 3 spaces. The locals, yeah. And so that is the game, like figuring out, can I make sure that all these people make it into the right spot before the game time runs out? That's one of the really interesting parts of it.
And then all the cards have iconography for scoring at the end. So some of them need to be adjacent to other cards. Some of them do have a chain mechanism for scoring, so they'll need to have a chain. It doesn't have to be a straight line. It can weave through your town. Some of them gain additional points if you have to have a set number, so maybe 3 or maybe 5 as the base number, but then every card in that chain can count. So you may end up hoarding lots of sports cards or lots of local eateries so that you can gain points for those.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the aesthetic for it. I really liked the pastel color palette that they kind of used. It feels very beachy. I could definitely see this sitting in your beach house that just you come and play it every summer when you're out there to play the game. Overall, I enjoyed the gameplay, and I felt like the replayability in it was pretty decent. Those sand dollars are all double-sided, and there's several of them. You've also got that in-game scoring card, which is going to shake up some of your goals throughout the game, and it's going to make you push for other things when you play it each time.
Yeah, the artwork, all the cards is unique for the most part. There's a couple that are maybe duplicate ideas, like there's several beach weddings that happen in the cards, and there's lots of different restaurants and condos and things that you might see if you actually went to the beach.
Yeah, if it looks like something that you'd be interested in, be sure to check out Santa Monica from AEG. And then, as always, thanks so much for liking, subscribing, and following along here at Tantrum House.
Location along your beachfront so that you can gain points from hopefully most of the cards in your area. Super dumb.
That was terrible. The goal of the game is to get some points.
That's not even going in the outtake.
Woo! Overall, they're going to be creating this really idyllic little play world. Do we get it?
I think so.
Did we say all the things we wanted to say?